Good afternoon from George Riley and Andrew Henderson. We're live from the Leigh Sports Village. In a bit of rain, it's been a nice sunny day, bit of drizzle, but we're looking forward to this one, a vitally important fixture in the Betfred Championship between Leigh Centurions and Bradford Bulls, live and exclusive on our league. Hendo, good to see you. I was going to say Happy Father's Day, but that'll make you sound like my dad, so I won't do that. But great to see you. We're looking forward to this one. Let's talk you through why this is so important. Have a look at that. Bradford down in 7th at the moment, but so tight. Just a couple of points between them and Leigh in 4th. I will bring you in to get your thoughts on this in just a moment. Let's get straight into the head coaches though, with kick-off fast approaching in 4 minutes time. I've been speaking to John Duffy and the Bulls head coach John Keir. John, thanks for popping out to see us so close to kick-off. You brought the weather out with you as well. We're looking forward to this game though today, aren't we?
Yeah, it's another massive game for both clubs. Obviously the league is getting tighter and tighter each week, so it's about who wants it more today. I think the weather's just started to come down, so whoever keeps hold of the ball, and completes well, should get the result, but our lads are up for it today.
Speaking to John Keir a short time ago, he was talking us through the illness in his camp. You've had it as well?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we've had it all week. We've had a few missed training, and we've had Sam Brooks come with it today, so we'll see how he goes. He's stayed in and he wants to play, so we'll see how that goes, but really looking forward to the game.
John was telling us he likes the way you set your team up and he likes the brand of rugby league you play. Is that something that during the time you've been here you've tried to put a stamp on?
Yeah, it takes a lot of time when we're getting the job real late. It's taken quite a bit of time to get everything clicking, but we've had a good result last week, but we've never backed up a big game, and it's time to do it today against a real good team. I really like John, great coach, a great bloke, and his teams always perform high completion and they wait for you to error, so we need to be better than them at that today.
It's about getting a big start today against this Bradford team.
Yeah, massive as well. They'll bring a lot of fans over as well, so it should be a good atmosphere for us.
The weather's awful, so I want to get back up there. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
John, great to see you. How are you, first of all?
Yeah, I've recovered from a bit of a sickness bug that we've got going around the club at the minute, and I fell foul of it on Thursday night, Friday morning, but I'm okay, so I'm here, alive and kicking, and looking forward to a great game.
Has that affected your selection today?
It has, yeah. I mean, Jake Webster should have played today, and Jake rang me actually this morning, and he explained he was suffering from this diarrhoea and sickness that's going through. We've had 7 cases of it in the past couple of 3 weeks, and Jake suffered from it overnight, and obviously he just feels too weak to come out and play, so it's meant a late sort of selection change where Jake Webster's out and Ash Gibson's been brought in after coming through the reserve game on Wednesday.
It feels like every time we've covered you guys on our league this season, we've said this is a big game for you today. So this is a big game for you today.
They're all big games, aren't they? Yeah, I mean, they really are. And we've had a big game month, shall we say, and we've got a big game month coming up as well, because we've got Leigh today, then we've got other top 5 rivals who will be after our scalp, and we'll be after theirs. So it's a big month, and this is the start of a big month, and obviously we want to start the month in good form with a good performance. Should we do that, we'll have half a chance.
How much pressure is there on you, or do you feel, to achieve the highest finish possible?
Yeah, we feel that from a group ourselves. It's not external pressure, it's internal pressure, because we speak regularly about our targets. We go on a 4 to 6 week cycle, and we've spoken about this month's targets, so we've put pressure on ourselves, and that's the way I think it should be, because if you're in sport, you're competitive. If you're in sport, you want to achieve, and the biggest way you can do that is by piling the pressure on yourself, so that you achieve the highest standards and achieve the highest performances, and that's what we're trying to do.
And a word on today, what kind of challenge do Leigh pose to you and Bradford?
They pose a really good challenge. I mean, they're a great footballing team. I like the way John Duffy has his team set up and plays, and this surface is fantastic. It's a big open field. and we know they'll start shifting the ball about. They've got Gregg McNally out the back, who we know very, very well, Martyn, Ridyard, some real good three-quarters, including Matty Costello from St Helens, and a big tough forward pack ably sort of marshalled by Micky, Higham and Liam Hood. So that's it. I can go through them all if you want, George, but they pose a big threat, but we're fully aware of it.
Looking forward to it. Good luck.
Very much so. Cheers, George.
The two head coaches speaking to me down on the pitch a short while ago as the players just ready themselves in the tunnel opposite. That's how the home side line up with Gregg McNally, Matty Costello, Thornley, Forsyth, Marsh, Ridyard and Woods, and it's Douglas Higham, Brooks, Batchelor, Thornley and Cator for the head coach. We've just heard from John Duffy. Bradford had to make one late change. Jake Webster, a withdrawal through illness, so Ashley Gibson comes in. It's Ryan, Grant, Gibson, Oakes, Foggin-Johnston, then Wildie and Lilley, who's been nailing his kicks from the touchline during warm-up. Kirk, Hallas, Crossley, Garside, Storton and Elliot Minchella for head coach John Keir. The two coaches, Andrew Henderson, expecting a tight contest, and we think they'll probably be right.
Yeah, I think you're right there, George. I think both, the table doesn't lie, does it? I mean, Leigh sitting 4th on 20 points, Bradford 7th on 18. Bradford win today, they go level points with Leigh. It's that tight as we see the Betfred Championship League table again here. It's really tight from sort of first place. Obviously Toronto are out in front, but from second to Toulouse right down to sort of Bradford, even Halifax still in the mixer there. It's really going to be competitive this back end of the season, coming into the top 5. But today you look at both team sheets, you just named the lineups there, George, and both for me are quite evenly matched. A real blend of youth and experience through both sides. You'd probably argue Leigh, for me, probably got a little bit more, I think, quality just in the ranks, but not by much. Probably a little bit more experience in the ranks, so to speak. But I'm really looking forward to the battle up front, mate. Luke Douglas, Sam Brooks up against Steve Crossley and Liam Kirk. I think Liam Hood and George Flanagan, respectively, on both benches. Both those hookers can certainly come on and change the dynamic of the game as well. So I think there's some exciting lineups and contests here today. Even the halfback pairings, Josh Woods, Martyn Ridyard, up against Matty, Wildie and Jordan Lilley. Fantastic match-up and battle there in the halfback. So I think there's some real good stories to be told today. Some good battles out there as well for both sides. But I think at home, I think Leigh will just nick this one, George.
Yeah, we're anticipating a good contest. I've been looking forward to this one over the last few days. The two head coaches we heard from bang up for it, the two sets of players who, listening to the coaches, have both had a bit of illness in the camp to deal with. And the fans are in reasonable force as well. The Leigh fans over to our right-hand side, and the Bradford Bulls, those who have made the trip, enjoying themselves just behind the sticks. To our left, familiar colours, the red and white hoops of the home side. Leigh Centurions led by the veteran. And Micky Higham parked up alongside Micky just as we got here about 1:30 this afternoon. Had a little chat with him in the car park. I said, "Are you still enjoying it?" He goes, "Yeah, you've just got to keep going, haven't you? You've just got to keep going." And he's evergreen, he's Micky Higham, and he's looking forward to this contest today. The timekeeper tests his siren, and there go the Bradford Bulls swapping sides in their familiar black shirts with the red and gold trim, and the referee, Super League official Ben Thaler, to get us underway today. It will be Bradford, well, it's Leigh who you can hear, and it's Bradford to get us underway. Jordan Lilley, who secured his move away from, well, the struggling Leeds Rhinos. There's a few who say they could probably do with him back there at the moment. But here he is in the Bradford Bulls colours, getting us underway. A little late kicking off, 4 minutes past 3. But we are underway, and it's the first drive of the game. It's a powerful drive as well.
Great carry from Luke Douglas, setting the platform early.
Yeah, I think he may have used that extra 4 minutes just to pop an extra energy gel, because he looked bang up for that great first drive. And look where they are, 2 tackles in. There's the old-timer, Micky Higham. They're just going to go up the middle and play out the 6 and get a good kick away, and they're already in a good position to do so, as Higham looks left and right, and he will go left this time and feed inside to Joe Batchelor. Good start, Leigh, on halfway with a couple in hand. Will they kick early? No, they'll take the extra drive, and well, it's a good decision as well, because they'll set up here for the kick. Higham has a quick look and gets the ball away, and there comes the kick through Josh Woods. It's a high hanger, a swirler. It's pushed back and it's knocked on. But a lively start from the home side.
Oh, that's a really impressive start for the Leigh Centurions. Luke Douglas with 2 really strong carries of the football. He got some really good early touches there for Dougie. Really carried with purpose, found his front, got some quick play the balls there for his team to keep rolling down the hill. So a really impressive start there for the Centurions. Big opportunity now from off a set start to really ramp up defensively.
Yeah, that was pretty much according to plan for John Duffy and Leigh, and that will help because a knock on by Bradford on their own 20. And an early error committed by Matty Garside.
Yeah, obviously the greasy conditions, as it makes it a little bit tricky sometimes to hold the football, and it was a nice shift play there by Bradford, but the reality is Martyn Ridyard was really up. He was up hard in his face. Probably Lilley, in reflection, probably should have just showed and go there. It was a little bit of a pressure pass slightly, but you still expect Matt Garside to take that ball. But great opportunity now for the Centurions as they attack off the scrum through Thornley now, George.
Great opportunity to get some points on the board early for the Leigh Centurions. Higham just pops it up for Joe Cator, and they'll set up once again right in front of the post, just to the right hand side, but they straighten up and play it through the forwards, and a couple of gaps already starting to open up. Martyn Ridyard, I beg your pardon, going to ground just to the left of the post. Well, that was a bit of a mess. It's is play on, is it? No, it's a knock on. Well, one loose pass. It looked like they might have got away with that as it was shovelled on, but Ben Thaler on the spot to adjudge a knock on, so the Bradford Bulls escape. Andrew Henderson. Yeah,
they just try to be a little bit too cute there for me, the Centurions. They'd obviously set up with the two middle unit boys there. Luke Douglas was out the back, obviously of a shape that they had there, and he was obviously looking to try and promote the football, but the reality is you've got to catch the ball first, Luke, and then look for the pass option second, and unfortunately for him, he just had that pass thought in mind and tried to flick it on real quick, and just didn't execute the play very well.
As Foggin-Johnston gets his first carry of the game, as does Sam Hallas. And Bradford just looked to steady things after a little dodgy start. That looked high. That was high.
Yeah, Luke Douglas, he's obviously just come off the back of that pass area, which obviously turned possession over, and Coach John Duffy will be disappointed. He's had back-to-back errors there now.
And he's hurt Liam Kirk there, I think.
Well, the medical team are just assessing Liam now. We'll have a look here on the replay. Wooshka doesn't miss him, does he?
He does not miss.
Could be in trouble for that one, to be fair.
That wasn't good.
And I think he's going to have a chat with him, mate. I'm not sure here. So tell him to calm it down, or whether he'll go in the bin. No, there's no sign of a card coming out there from referee Ben Thaler, but he's had a real stern word there with Luke Douglas. And the medical team still assessing Liam Kirk, who was on the end of it. The thumbs goes up from the physio, so looks like he's okay to play on. But it was he certainly didn't miss him, did he, George?
It was high, and there was an element of swing in it as well, which I think Mr. Thaler didn't particularly like. But we're all good. And it will be a Bradford Bulls penalty, which off the back of that error will go down very nicely indeed. You can see the clock showing 8 minutes past 3, so we were a few minutes late kicking off. Not sure what was going on in the tunnel over there, but it gave Andrew Henderson and I a chance to finish our cheeseburgers. So it was most welcome. Nothing on the board yet. Leigh Bradford exclusively live on Our League from the Rugby Football League. And here come the Bradford Bulls in opposition territory for the first time. Hallas is the dummy half, going to run it skinny side and go on his own this time. He senses a gap and runs through it.
That was great vision there from Hallas there down the short side. If Ashley Gibson had just reacted a bit quicker, they would have created a 3v2 and a potential try scoring opportunity as they move the point of attack from right to left, George.
Well, he wants a word, does the referee here. It's going to be another penalty for Bradford.
Sam Brooks, I think, may have taken out Lilley late. Let's have a look here on the replay. Oh, that's a mile, mate. What's he thinking? Sam Brooks, I mean, I love the fact you've got some aggression, son, but that was not the smartest piece of play there from the Centurions forward.
And they're going to take the two here. It's the second talking to. He's still giving him a talking to, Ben Thaler. And Jordan Lilley will call for the kicking tee, and just pop over the two.
Well, the fans behind the sticks there seemed a little bit disgruntled with the decision, but when you look at the replay, yeah, Sam Brooks was a mile late there on that challenge on Jordan Lilley. Just needs to be smarter. You know, it's great to have that go-get mentality, but you've just got to time it better. You know, that was a clear late shot and a clear penalty. So Bradford now to take the two. Lilley lines it up, George.
And he won't miss these. He was kicking them from the touchline in the warm-up, so he could probably nail that one with his eyes closed. 2-0 Bradford. 6 minutes into the contest. Andrew Henderson.
Well, it was a real bright start for the Centurions, wasn't it, George? You know, the first set, Luke Douglas proving to be very prominent in those early exchanges, carrying forward. They made really good field position, had a good kick completed on it, and then off the back of that, they forced an error. There were some real encouraging signs early, but then error from Luke Douglas, penalty for a high tackle from Luke Douglas, penalty from Sam Brooks, and it's led them to gifting 2 points to the Bradford Bulls. So they're going to have to try and turn it around now with a good defensive display this set of 6.
Foggin-Johnston looking to get involved on every play, every carry. As Bradford's have settled well after that early handling error on their own 20. Steadied the ship nicely. Crossley with the drive. Ashley Gibson there, you can see on his shoulder. A late call into the side. Jake Webster decided he wasn't quite feeling well enough to play today. John Keir very disappointed with that, he told me, but absolutely nothing he could do about it as Mincella gets involved. And here's Lilley, goes high this time. Ben Thaler says you're offside, you're onside. Doesn't really matter anyway, because it's a great field and a great return from Leigh. Settling into a nice contest early this. And the roars of encouragement coming from the Centurions fans. Micky Higham will go down this skinny side. Well, they've been yelling for a penalty for the last few minutes, the Leigh fans, and finally they get one off the official Ben Thaler.
Yeah, well, let's just come off the back of some real determined running there from the Centurions. You know, Matt Costello returned with purpose. Iain Thornley off the back of the next carry, you know, made a good 10 or 12 metre gain, found his front. Stefan Marsh running hard, found his front. So they just used the back five there, George. They got the back five in on those early carries to try and get them on the front foot, and they did just that and earned their side a penalty.
2 balls on the pitch, so a pause before the drive from Joe Batchelor. Opportunity knocks for Leigh to respond. Higham, infield they go, and they're keeping the ball alive, and this is the way that they like to play under John Duffy. Higham again, well, he looked to go on his own. No, it's a very narrow pass and they're almost over, just held up.
It was Liam Kirk there, George, with a try saver.
Will Higham go on his own this time? No, he doesn't. He comes back and they straighten up. Has the chance gone? I fear it may have done for Leigh. They'll be held up on the line. Higham looking left and right. I sense the gaps may be left. He senses the same. Little show and a little go. Ridyard is wrapped up though. Last tackle. What will Higham orchestrate here on the last? He's going to run it on his own and a brilliant short pass to Thornley. Higham sets it up. Thornley runs it in and Leigh take the lead 4-2 with a kick to come.
Well, great vision there from Micky Higham. I thought Bradford did a really good job defending their own goal line. There was some good scramble there at times from them. It was last play. I mean, I felt they had enough numbers to defend the play, but I think it's Ashley Gibson who gets caught ball watching. He slightly turns in and ball watches. Speed of pass beats him. I don't think there was much doing down that short side, but they elect to go the power play here on the last. You can see now Higham scanning, probing, looking left. Jumps out of dummy half, engages the A marker, and it's Gibson who just gets caught, and Dalton Grant just didn't react quick enough there to close the play, and Iain Thornley goes in untouched. But nice little pass selection play there from Micky Higham. He jumps out of crate almost like a 4v3 now, and obviously Gibson goes in on Batchelor. Dalton Grant's got to follow him in quicker and close the play, and they leave the winger over, but obviously Grant didn't react quick enough to Gibson, who went in. And it's a good opening score there for the Centurions, George.
Yeah, good response from Leigh. Looked so easy in the end, didn't it, on the last tackle. Kick to come is from Ridyard. You can see it's a third of the way in for the touchline. He struck it well, and that'll be over. So a 6-point try And a 6-2 lead for the Leigh Centurions. And the gap was made by the simplest of passes. And the good passes are the ones that look that simple.
Well, it's been a good contest so far, hasn't it? I thought Leigh had a really good start to the game, then they come up with a few errors and penalties. It gave Bradford some field position and opportunity. And
he's gone for touch. Bounce was unkind to Jordan Lilley. He sensed an opportunity.
Indeed,
with a very attacking kick. He got the bounce where he wanted it.
Well, that's one thing, George, that Jordan Lilley possesses. We speak about it before. I think you made the call early before the game started about his kicking game, you know, and that's what he's got. You know, he's got an array of different kicks in general field, like even his kickoffs. You know, he can do those sort of things, and almost came off with them.
Yeah, I think the feeling was at Leeds, which is why it didn't quite work out there, as he didn't have enough apart from the kicking game, but he certainly looks to be developing that a lot more under John Keir at Bradford. This is the last tackle. As the sun comes out, Leigh 40 away. Ridyard's going to do with the outside of the boot. Just a little dink. That will bounce once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. And I thought it was going to stay in play. He's measured that really, really well.
Fantastic kick there from Martyn Ridyard as he marshals his troops. And that's a really good set from the Centurions. It was patient. It was composed. You know, they've got through there, churned up the metres. Neat little kick on the end of it from Martyn Ridyard, which goes into touch 10 metres off the Bradford Bulls line. It now means they can get their line set. They're ready to go and try and front load their energy on these early plays. And like you said, that was a really good set there from the Centurions after scoring points.
So Bradford get us back underway. It's flowed nicely, this game. Oh, there we are.
Luke Douglas again.
There's the commentator's curse.
Sam Brooks here with the penalty. But you're right, George. Oh, look out.
He's gone to the beat.
He's mouthed off, Sam Brooks. And Micky Higham gives it to him.
Oh dear, that is absolutely inexcusable.
That is just criminal. You've just given a penalty away for trying to take a shortcut. Dalton Granner won the ground. He tried to pull him back down. That's what the penalty was awarded for. And then he mouths off to the referee at the decision. You ain't going to change his mind, Sam. You just got to get on with it. That's what Micky Higham would have been saying to him, mate. You just need to crack on. Stupid play. Now puts their team under the pump. It's a big challenging 10 minutes now for the Centurions, as the Bulls will smell blood now.
Utterly ridiculous that. Your team has just got themselves ahead, given away a penalty, and you do that when your team has already been warned a couple of times by Ben Thaler. And they've got to keep their heads on now, because they could easily concede. Hallas and Crossley and Minchella and Lilley. It's good, this from Bradford.
Good defensive play there by Costello. He had to kill that play. If he didn't, it would have been try time in that left corner.
Bradford have the extra man. They dab through low. Looks like Leigh have fallen on the ball over on the far side, so they will get the ball back. Oh, that's certainly got the crowd going. They feel that the referee is against them, Mark. I can assure you he isn't. It was your own player being a little bit silly. And actually, John Keir, the Bradford coach, is just sitting right alongside us, a couple of yards from our commentary position. I glanced at him after that sin bin decision was taken. It was almost, oh, thank you very much. That was something we didn't expect, but we'll take it. Bit of a juggle on this near touchline. 6-2 Leigh lead. Real 4-pointer in the Betfred Championship. It's the last tackle, so they're going to have to kick from way back. It's another great kick from Ridyard. It bounced, 10 centimetres in from this near touchline?
Yeah, it's a really decent kick there. I mean, we speak about setting up for your kick in our game at times. Sometimes it's not an ideal kicking position to kick off a sideline there. You know, they'll get caught there last play on the sideline, so you need to have a 2-pass option, and I didn't quite see that option available for him. So it was a decent kick under pressure there. It's a tough position to kick from off the sideline to then try and hook it back down the same side you're attacking. And he managed to execute that kick in pinpoint fashion.
Well, they can very easily go wrong, can't they?
Absolutely, but it's a tough place to kick from. Ideally, you want to be setting your kick up around that 20 tram, you know, more towards the centre field to give you those options. But he's done a really good job there, Martyn Ridyard.
Yeah, great judgment, great confidence as well. But they've got 10 minutes with only 12 men on the field just after that needless ill discipline. Bradford enjoying a better passage of play. There goes the big fella up the middle. We've enjoyed watching him this season, haven't we?
Yeah, he's done a solid job for him.
Quick play the ball once more. Bradford over halfway. Garside grounded. Lilley calls for the ball and gets the ball, and he just pops it up in the end to Minchella, and he just hangs back on the right shoulder of Hallas. It's the last tackle. He's going to go inside. He's going to give it to Wildie to... Oh, it's a really well measured grubber, and that's really well defended.
Oh, great job there, Costello. Oh, he's knocked it on.
Oh, no. Well, he stretched to get the ball back into the field of play, and he's knocked it on.
I was just about to say, it was remarkable get out of jail card here by Costello. He did ever so well to collect that ball.
Well, he had it in his grasp until Foggin-Johnston landed upon him.
Yeah, true that, true.
Which I think provoked the boos from the home fans behind the sticks.
It's a big opportunity here now for Bradford, and
it is.
We get another challenge for the Leigh side. Can they stand firm and defend their goal line now as the Bulls through Lilley on the Garside?
Yeah, great opportunity right from the post. Now then they cough up to Foggin-Johnston. Can he get himself away? If it had got out of that tackle, he wouldn't have caught him. But the defence stands firm. Boos continue to rain down as Minchella runs at the line. Lilley, they pop it up. I think they've lost their way a little bit here. Bradford. Ethan Ryan just looks all around him and says, right, let's start again. Hallas feints it to Minchella. Wildie back inside. That's far too easy. He's dropped it over the line. Oh, dropped it. Well, he has just given away a try. He was in, and John Keir to our left is absolutely fuming. It was a walk-in try, and I need to see that again. How on earth he's dropped it?
I don't know how he's dropped that ball there, George, to be honest. I don't think he had anybody on him. Disappointment there for the Bulls, relief for the Centurions. It was a nice play as well. It was a nice inside ball there to Liam Kirk. Created the opportunity, but anyway, Iain Thornley now carrying strong. We'll have another look at it here on the replay. Matty Wildie goes to the line, back on the inside, and Micky Higham just couldn't get enough in cover on the inside to make the tackle. He was
falling off his weight. It was one of those, because he didn't actually have any real tackle to ride, he just lost his focus. He wasn't concentrating on the carry, as you have to do when you know a tackle's coming. He knew he was in, and he dropped the ball. And here come Leigh, Higham. But dab with the outside of the boot. Foggin-Johnston's going to have to deal with that, and he does. But he's dragged back in goal.
That's great defence. Great defence here from the Leigh Centurions. I mean, that'll give them a lot of confidence. They've managed to, you could argue they got away with one there on their try line, but they still, at the end of the day, they've defended it. They've managed to stop the play, and they've rolled down the whole field with 12 men, and obviously managed to put Foggin-Johnston in the goal to get a repeat set. You know, that's a real morale boosting, confidence boost. I think we see, is that Liam Hood has come onto the field?
It's a bit spiky this, isn't it, at the moment?
Oh, it was always going to be. Two really good teams. We've got two really good rugby league teams here going head to head. I've seen some great players on the show today in the championship game that we're covering.
Liam Hood is on, and that's his first touch of the football, allowing Cator to take the carry. Be a real hammer blow if Leigh could turn that, well, would have been a 6-pointer from Bradford. Bear in mind where it would have been scored. They could turn that into a deficit for the Bulls. Running straight to the line, they could have a man free on the far side, and they are going to score. And what a couple of minutes in this game. Bradford thought they had a 6-pointer at one end of the field, and they've now conceded on the far side. So Leigh stretch their advantage, and don't forget they're playing a man down.
Yeah, it's unbelievable here for the Centurions. Great rugby league football by them. Fantastic. And it all started from their endeavour to kick chase. Josh Woods put the kick in, they kick chase, they put Foggin-Johnston into the in goal. And then on the next set here, they set up here to short side attacking play. Josh Woods goes across, he gets to Matty Wildie. They try and put two defenders there.
And Costello just holds his line, doesn't he?
Yeah, but it's great play. And what it is, it's Josh Woods here. Watch him get across the line. He squares up, it attracts Matty Wildie in, and they try and get inside outside shoulder on Ross Oakes. Oakes jams in on the lead. and it's great timing to run out the back from McNally. He has enough depth, so when Foggin-Johnston tries to kill the play, he has enough time because of his depth to be able to make the pass play to Costello. So, but it's Josh Woods. If he doesn't get across to Matty Wildie, then the play doesn't unfold. The fact that he gets across to 3-man, they isolate 2-man, and then they create the try there.
Ridyard from the touchline. Oh, what a kick!
Fantastic kick there from Ridyard. Wow.
And it's 12-2 to 12-man lead. And that feels, on the midway point of this first half, Andrew Henderson, like quite a big moment in this contest.
Oh, massive moment. And again, fantastic short side attacking play there from the Centurions. Like I said, Josh Woods, he organised it, he got it set up there, and he had his man out the back and McNally ready to go. And like you said, it was a fantastic, well-worked move, well-timed and well-executed. Fantastic try for the Centurions, and 12-2 up now. It's an important part of the game. Obviously now, the Centurions, with all the ascendancy and the belief and the confidence, you know, it's important. Bradford, they've got to stay in the fight here, okay, because they will get a say in the game at some point, but they need to fix up a few things if they're going to get themselves back into it.
Just a big moment. It was inexplicable how Bradford failed to convert there as Hoods knocks on halfway through, and they will play that on.
Gibson!
And they will play that on.
Gibson! So important, George, that you don't make an error after you've scored points. It's so key, you know, because now you give the opposition an opportunity and a bit of a sniff. All head knockers at Joe Batchelor.
Yeah, they'll just check, and they'll be back to a full complement in the next 60 seconds or so as well. Will Leigh, because that sin bin has just about run its course, and it's seen them extend their lead. As we have a short stoppage of play just to check he's all right.
Joe Batchelor's one of the St Helens players here on show today on dual registration. They do have a dual registration agreement to the Leigh Centurions with St Helens. Matt Costello on the wing is featuring for them today.
There's a lot of big name, big team experience on show for both sides.
Both sides, that's what I said today. At the start. It's, you know, it's fantastic, great matchup. A great blend of youth and experience in both teams. You know, and some fantastic talent on show. You know, it's two quality Championship Rugby League teams here on show today, and I said we expected a good contest, and so far we're getting that.
Well, he's been taken off for a check, Joe Batchelor. I presume that'll be a concussion check, unless he's got any blood anywhere that he needs cleaning up. But they will make the change, and then they'll have 13 players back after that as well. So Jordan Thompson coming on. And Bradford eager to get us back underway. Lilley. Hallas has Minchella on his left shoulder. Bypasses him to Wildie. It didn't look a great pass, that.
Too hard. The pass was too hard. It's really come off his chest there. And Storton, he's been impressive this year, as Matt Storton for the Bulls.
And it looked too hard and just behind him as well. He was kind of bending backwards, took it around shoulder high.
Yeah, he probably didn't kind of get his timing either. We'll have a look at now on the replay. It was a nice play. I like the lead and out the back. Wildie's going to the line and maybe fractionally over around at fraction, but again, still the pass wasn't great either. A bit too hard.
Either way, the connection between the two wasn't good.
Spot on, George.
As Hoods gets the ball. Yes, there has been the odd stoppage, but in each set, I've loved the quick play of the ball and the flow of the rugby league, and another little grubber kick will find touch. Kicking game's been good from both sides.
Yeah, it has. But I think when you look at the two teams, you just feel that Leigh are just making more metres. They're probably getting quicker ruck speed, generating quicker ruck speed. Their forwards are finding their back five as well have been quite impressive. Thornley, Costello, Marsh have really got them on the front foot, and then the big fellas, Douglas, amongst others, have been getting on the back of that as well and making good metres, finding their fronts, and it's just catching Bradford on the hop a little bit. So Bradford are going to have to probably just tidy up their in-tackle management and try and control that ruck speed a little bit better.
Well, any coach will tell you, Hendo, you'll know this yourself, the most effective most efficient way of defending a lead is to keep attacking, because they can't score points if they're defending.
Yeah, true.
And that's exactly what Leigh are doing with this 12 points to 2 advantage. Live and exclusive on our league. The tries from Thornley and Costello, and the ill-discipline this time from Leigh.
Liam Hood there.
Liam Hood just a bit excited in the tackle. And Bradford get the piggyback 20 yards or so up the pitch, so they will start on around about the 30. Crossley runs into that line.
They'll just be a little bit disappointed, Leigh, won't they, in terms of, I don't think Bradford have ever really troubled them coming out of backfield, have they? It's just been a few of these, they're still disciplined.
Oh, nice change of direction
nice
from Wildie, sorry, Hendo, but looked as though there could be something there for the Bradford Bulls. Here he is once more. Here is Lilley, just pops it up. Well, they're running into traffic there, Bradford. Not sure that was the wisest play. Lilley to Garside on the angle. Well, they'll just straighten up and use the last 2 tackles to try and create a bit of pressure here. Hallas to Lilley. Will he kick early? No, he's going to keep the ball alive. Wildie looking for options. There might be a spare man, you know, down that far side. Good scrambling defence from Leigh. Have they got him in touch? Yes, they have. And the home fans enjoyed that one.
That was great edge defence there from the Centurions. It was nice ball movement from the Bradford Bulls. I like the shape that they played, but the Centurions' edge defence was outstanding, that right edge. You know, Thornley and Costello really looked in sync, working together well. Woods as well was mapping across really good. So just I like their body positions there defensively. Their body positions were good. They were working together. Spacing was good. And like I said, it was a decent attacking shape from the Bulls, but equally well defended.
Off we go again from the base of that scrum. You can probably hear what the Leigh fans are making about most of this at the moment, but they should be enjoying the game and the scoreboard, because it's 12-2 in the sunshine.
Another good carry from Marsh.
So strong, isn't he? Stefan Marsh. Hood changing direction from left to right. Now then, good hands. He's had to step in off his wing. There's a half opportunity. McNally getting involved, and Hood once more fakes the pass, and it almost came off. Oh, it's been taken, and it is play on. It's going to be the last though, so Ridyard's going to have to drill one in. No, he's just dinked one over the top this time into the sunshine. A couple of bounces. Oh, it's trickled away nicely for him as well.
Oh,
what a return this is! Ryan, he wants support. He's got a big fellow on his right, so he goes inside. Can Wildie have the toes? He's going to go underneath the post. Length of the field, made by Ethan Ryan and scored by Matty Wildie, and that is exactly what the Bradford Bulls needed.
Oh, did they just? I was just about to say, the Centurions have had all the ascendancy. They're controlling and dictating the terms in this game. Again, it was a fantastic kick from Martyn Ridyard into this right-hand corner, and you just felt if the kick chase team of the Centurions had dealt with Ryan, it would have been a fantastic outcome to the end of this set. They would have pinned him inside the 10. But great footwork and evasion. He actually beats the kicker, Martyn Ridyard, there by stepping off his right. And obviously the Centurions defenders couldn't handle it. And it was fantastic support from Matty Wildie back on the inside. He had Liam Kirk on the outside. Good job he didn't elect to hit Kirk on the outside. I'm not sure he would have had the legs to go there.
All right. Thankfully for Bradford, he looked inside.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure the big fella was fancying that one.
No, I'm not sure he would have got there either. It looked like he was running in treacle. But yeah, great finish there from Matty Wildie there, and probably much needed there for the Bradford Bulls, because, like you said, the Centurions defensively have been pretty sound, bar their discipline, have been pretty sound defensively and pretty good with the ball.
And this from bang in front is another 2 from the boot. Jordan Lilley, 2 from 2. Game very much on at the Leigh Sports Village. Leigh Centurions 12 and the Bradford Bulls 8. As we watched the break again, it was like one step took out 3.
Yeah, well, he's a good athlete, isn't he, Ethan Ryan? We've seen that throughout this season and previous seasons. He's a fantastic athlete. You know, it's no wonder he's attracting some interest from other clubs in the higher division. You know, he's certainly got a good turn of pace. He's brave, he's committed, Like you said, mate, he can show there, he can break the line. So it was a fantastic individual piece of brilliance from Ethan Ryan, and great support from Matty Wildie. And as we said, much needed try, I feel, for the Bulls to get them now back into this game.
We're around about half an hour or so gone, a shade under with the stoppages.
Oh,
that's a big hit. Is that Liam Hood?
Wow, Liam Hood. Good shot on Liam Kirk.
It certainly was. And Liam Kirk says, that's enough, I'm done. I think he was ready to go off. That's why he was caught off guard. He was on his way off, and he had to take that. Lilley. Inchella, good step. Last tackle this. So Bradford, well, Lilley's hanging on down here. Oh, he's going to run it.
Run shape.
Gibson.
Oh,
now then.
Hit.
Grant. Oh, he's put the kick in. Oh, surely there were better options.
Yeah, I think he should have passed it. I think if he'd have passed it back on the inside of Matt Garside there, I don't feel he needed to kick.
I think that the gamble had gone and the gamble had worked. I think they should have just kept going now.
Well, I thought it was fantastic vision by Jordan Lilley. He shaped the kick. He saw the opportunity that run shape was on. I mean, Ashley Gibson's got a good pair of hands on him as a centre, can put his winger away, which he did ever so well for Dalton Grant to get put away. And I just felt Dalton probably panicked a little bit there. If he'd have gone back on the inside of Matt Garside, I said at least Garside could have possibly put a little kick in if needed, or potentially may have created a try scoring opportunity. Just felt he rushed that moment for me, George.
Yeah, it looked as though they'd made the break. They'd taken the gamble and it had paid off. And then just keep going. It was a rush, a panicked kick. Here come Leigh. Now then, can Thornley get Marsh away? No, he can't. Not quite. Woods and Ridyard, and Leigh straightening up. 30 away, right in front of the sticks. Wood again.
Oh, nice play.
Well, Hood, I'm not sure he wanted that. He was standing still. Last tackle, but an opportunity. Could be a penalty, is a penalty. Last tackle. That's inexcusable.
That was
Paul Carey seething again.
Yeah, well, no wonder. Last play, they've had to deal with the 7 tackles set, and then Mikey Wood, he's just come on the field as well. He's fresh and just come on the field and gives away a penalty right in front of the sticks, and the Centurions have elected to kick for goal, George, to extend the lead to 14 points to 8, so it gives them a 6-point lead. I'll tell you what though, this left flank here, Iain Thornley's causing some problems on the left here, obviously against Jordan Lilley and Ashley Gibson. He seems to be getting the better of this edge over here.
He's such a big presence that and we saw that with where Ashley Gibson's eyes perhaps went with the try he scored. When he's there, you're kind of focusing on 2, whether he takes the ball or not.
Yeah.
And that is allowing a bit of space for Marsh. There's the kick from Ridyard. No mistake at all. So 14-8. Back to a 6-point game. And very nicely balanced on our league in the sunshine this afternoon.
Just look at that shot again there from Liam Hood. Great shot there on Liam Kirk. It's one of the wonderful collisions that we get to see here in rugby league. And Gareth Hock's now just come off the bench, George, the veteran.
And he normally enjoys his first drive of any game of rugby league, doesn't he? He winds up the legs, gets the knees high, and unleashes havoc. And he wants it, here he goes. And wins his side a penalty. And has a few words as well, as though he's never been away.
It's the Gareth Hock we know, aren't we? Not short of a spray, is he?
Such a good player, and such a shame that he's had so many other issues to deal with, which have really, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying, have really kind of got in the way of his career.
Yeah, well, certainly one of the toughest, if not the toughest player.
He had all the raw ingredients.
I played against him when he was in his prime, mate, and he was, I tell you what, he was an awkward customer to stop.
And he wants the ball every single carry, but he's dropped that one and it's a knock on.
Oh, look at Ross Peltier, he's come off the bench. Oh, look out. And Hock's not happy. Bit of push and shove.
Well, Gareth Hock's been on 30 seconds. He's won a penalty, knocked on, and now pushed someone.
Yep. Ross Peltier, he was pretty pumped after forcing the error, just trying to get his teammates riled. And you could see Hock was looking for the offload. It was a loose carry. It was the right call by referee Ben Taylor.
Hallas just a little push, then does he go to check? No, it's just a little push, laughs in his face.
Well, I think that was a bit of payback, because if we're being honest, Hock gave him a little push. If you remember here, when he earned the penalty, Hock was almost pushing him away to say, yeah, get that into you, mate. You know what I mean? So I think it was a bit of a...
The penalty has been given against Bradford.
What for?
Well, that must have been for the push by Hallas on Hock, to which Hock reacted.
Come on, Jesus. We're not playing tiddlywinks here, are we? I mean, what's going? Come on. So it was all right for Gareth Hock to push Sam Hallas after he gave the penalty away. You know what I mean? He pushed Hallas, didn't he? And had a little word, gave him a little verbal spray. So all Hallas has done is the same thing. Forced the error, they got the good outcome. He's gave him a little shove. Wow. But then again, either, I'm not being funny, you just let it go. It's a little shove, it's nothing.
It's one of those, you just don't give the referee a chance to make a decision.
Was that definitely that's what it was for? Because
I'd like to see it again, but he indicated there was a push. So whether it was that one or one before, we might have to have another look at that.
Ridiculous.
I was focusing on the afters, I'll have to be honest. Ridyard striking boots a ball. Oh, he's missed it.
Wow, that's uncharacteristic for Martyn Ridyard to miss from there. Normally a very accomplished goal kicker. Doesn't miss too many, George, does he? And he certainly doesn't miss them from there normally.
Well, when he's been nailing them from the touchline, you expect those to go over.
Maybe a little bit of justice.
Either way, they're going to get the
maybe a little bit of justice there.
They're going to get the ball back because it went dead, so they'll drop out. And here we go. Straight back in, Gareth Hock.
It's a good carry from Hock.
He's going to want the ball every time now. Hood looking for him. There he is. It's one drive rest for Gareth Hock at the moment. But he's got his team in a good position here. Hood switches play. Wood shows, goes. Can they get... Oh, man free on the far side. Well, it's forward
penalty
pass.
for
I beg your pardon.
obstruction.
Yeah. Obstruction given.
Well, it was a very similar play to probably a carbon copy of the... Oh, and the Centurions mouthing off. Do you know what? They've just been their own worst enemies in that department today. I'll be honest with you, if I was coach John Duffy, I'd be pretty disappointed with my side's discipline today, because I think if they tidy up their discipline side of things, I think they've put themselves in a better position, if that makes sense. I think they've really gifted a lot of field position of Bradford off the back of, mouthing off, silly penalties, which didn't need to happen really. And I think they can control those things a little bit more for me, George.
Gibson had Grant on his outside. Grant infield to Garside. Flanagan on, taking over at dummy half. Mikey Wood getting involved too. Minchella running outside, won't be needed. Flanagan went on his own. Bit of a mess at the play of the ball, but Minchella finds Lilley. Wildie over to the far side. Bradford would dearly love to add some more points before half-time. It's the last tackle. Wildie puts a lovely looking kick in. It's a well dealt with piece of defending as well.
I think they just needed to react a bit quicker to that kick. The Bradford side, I feel they were just kind of stood still. Wildie puts a kick through, and the guys around him just didn't chase through hard enough. I think they had a chance to keep Costello in the in goal there, but fantastic, taking nothing away from Matty Costello. He did a great job cleaning that kick and getting out with and returning that ball with purpose.
Yeah, I agree. The kick would have been exactly where he would have wanted it.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem to be much of a reaction from his teammates.
No, not at all.
That's where the gap was. He got a lovely bounce as well. Last tackle on halfway. It's the left footer low, drilled. Lovely looking kick. And it's just turned Foggin-Johnston round, but he's so quick he'll be able to make his way back, no problem at all. The chase infield is good though.
Yeah, it is. It's a good kick there from Josh Woods into the corner. Good kick chases. Dalton Grant gets a quick play the ball for his side.
Oh, and looking to buy a penalty, but they keep the ball alive anyway. It's a really fascinating contest, this one. Yeah, he just lost his feet there.
Yeah, he did.
The big fella. Flanagan. Mikey Wood. Last tackle, Bradford once again. Lilley, here he is. He's going to go high. Yes, he is. A little bit of afters, but nothing in it. It's a great kick, is that? He was never going to get anywhere near it.
That's a knock on.
That's an absolutely brilliant kick. That was an arrow, wasn't it? And it came out of the sky so quick. You could tell a mile off that was going to cause problems, and it did. Great kick, Jordan Lilley.
Fantastic kick, and Stefan Marsh, just in that sunshine, just lost it there for a little bit. Fantastic opportunity now for Bradford just before half time. Great opportunity for them if they could try and nick a try here.
John Keir will be desperate to tighten up the scoreboard before the interval refreshments, which are imminent. Here's the big guy, Peltier again, bouncing out of a couple. Third will halt him in his tracks and bring him to ground, but a good field position this time for Bradford. Here is Lilley. Oh, he's dropped the ball.
Yes.
And he cut the break on. How are the toes? They won't catch him, will they?
No way.
All the way for Gregg McNally. One end of the field to the other. Defence to attack. The swallow dive. And as Bradford look to reduce their arrears, they suddenly find themselves even further behind at 18 points to 8 with a kick to come.
Well, against the run of play, we've seen 2 tries like this today, one for Bradford and now one for the Centurions. And just saying, that was a fantastic opportunity for Bradford just before half-time to hopefully try and get themselves over the try line to go in level or at least 2 points behind. But it was Jordan Lilley I think he just got caught in 2 minds there, George, whether he was going to hit short or go at the back. And because he couldn't make that decision and he hesitated, he just ended up kind of losing possession of the football. And Gregg McNally, you give this guy any space, he's got speed to burn, and the Bradford fans will know that from his time when he played at Bradford previously. And like I said, he just got open in open space, and there was no way that anyone was going to catch him once he'd reacted to that one. So fantastic individual try there for Gregg McNally as he further extends the lead of the Centurions to 18 points to 8.
It's going to be 20 points to 8. John Keir to our left has seen enough. He's shut his notepad already. He's going to make his way back down to the touchline. He's fuming. He won't be able to understand how the score is Leigh 20, Bradford 8. I can tell him it's little moments of play like that.
Well, I think if we're being honest and we give a reflection of this first half, I think you'd have to say Leigh have been the better of the 2 teams.
Absolutely right.
They've played probably. They've got on the front foot a bit more. They've made more meters. The kicking game's been excellent. They've attacked with some purpose. Probably their real discipline to some degree has given Bradford some opportunity. That's to take nothing away from Bradford in terms of they've remained dogged and they've stayed in the fight, and they still are. They're only 12 points behind. They can turn this game around, but they are going to have to start to front up a bit more defensively. I just feel they're allowing the Centurions to get over the gain line way too easily for me. As we see here now, Thornley making life difficult again as he wins the play. The ball, players still retreating, markers not set. You just see that's the theme, isn't it, at the moment?
Oh, they look hungry here, Leigh, and they're looking a little bit dishevelled now, Bradford.
Just have to fix.
And he's just, the referee's missed that.
He's missed that.
Was it Flanagan's just thrown the ball into the Leigh player's face? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Upper chest.
Oh, cool. We see another Centurion score here.
Well, this could get worse for Bradford.
Well, this is a massive set for Bradford. They have to defend this set of 6. They have to hang tough here. Defend this set of 6 and then regroup at half time. Good shot there from Micky.
You can't see it on the coverage, but John Keir has actually gone down, and he's parallel to the Bradford line. On the touchline, he's absolutely fuming. He's got the notepad back out. He's against the sponsors' hoardings on this near side, level with the Bradford line.
Yeah, it's another penalty.
Could not be more angry. He'll take a 2 here, wouldn't you? Yeah.
They will. And that's disappointing, George Flanagan, he's just come off.
There's John. You can see him. He's just made his way down from our commentary position.
Very animated.
And he's gone down with his staff.
He's very animated at the moment.
And he's absolutely fuming. He thought 28 was as bad as he was going to get this half, and he's wrong.
Well, George Flanagan,
the glasses are off.
He's given 2 penalties away there, back-to-back penalties, which just isn't good enough.
Well, he's missed one. He don't miss 2 in a row, Ridyard. John Keir marches across the field, and he's going to have a team talk to do here because it's 22-8 at half-time. John Keir, we both know very well, lovely guy, but I would not want to be in that dressing room with him right now because he does have a temper.
Well, I think he'll just feel like, they didn't have the best start to the game, and but then they got themselves to a 2-0 lead, and like I said, then they let Leigh get the ascendancy again, but then they managed to, albeit through a bit of a breakaway try against the run of play, they got themselves back into it, so he'll feel that they've kind of probably not been at their best, probably don't deserve to be winning at half-time, but have probably showed enough encouraging signs to be in the contest. And I think what will disappoint him the most is he's going in now with a 14-point deficit. I think 12-point deficit, he's probably saying, look, you know what I mean, he's still got some positives to work with, and we're only 2 scores behind. We come out, we start our process again, and we fix up a few of these areas that we need to fix up at the start of the second half. We get ourselves back into it, but they're going to have to claw back 3 scores, and I'm just not sure I see enough from Bradford at the moment. I can see 3 tries in them, if that makes sense, whereas I could see 3 more tries coming from the Centurions, the way they're playing at the moment.
Well, there's certainly no suggestion on what we've seen from Bradford over the first half that they can put a run together to overturn this deficit, but who knows, every match we've featured Bradford in has had a story. Anyway, this is the story of the first half, and this was the first score. It was a bit of a misread in defence from Ashley Gibson. Great ball from Micky Higham, and a walk-in, good line walk-in from Thornley.
It was, and what they've done there, they obviously doubled up. They've got 2 runners there on Ashley Gibson working his inside-outside shoulder. He elected to take the runner on his inside shoulder of Batchelor, and Dalton Grant had to close the play and take Thornley. He didn't react quick enough, and obviously Micky Higham picked the pass selection on the power play. And then off the back of this, we see a penalty there. Sam Brooks, first tackle, gives away the penalty. He tries to plead he's innocent with the referee, then he mouths off and gives him a little spray here. Says something out of turn, and the referee wasn't happy and says get off, and that's just dumb play. They just didn't need that then, the Centurions, at that point of the game. They just got themselves in front. They were 6 points to 2 up at this stage, and then this resulted in this.
Well, this was one of the big moments, because that was where Bradford should have got themselves ahead. Really inexplicable.
Yep.
A knock on over the line
was,
and straight from that, it was the try from Costello.
Absolutely. Fantastic little short side attacking play here. Josh Woods gets across to Matty Wildie, defending at 3-man. They isolate 2-man Ross Oakes there, working inside, outside shouldering. Forsyth blowing the inside shoulder of Oakes. McNally had great depth out the back. You see his depth here. It gives him enough time to catch as Foggin-Johnston tries to come in and release Costello away on the outside to get in the corner. If he doesn't get his depth right there, McNally, then Foggin-Johnston's able to kill him and shut him down. So depth was key there from the fullback, but also great play there from Josh Woods and good pass selection from him.
Score of the first half, though, was this.
Yeah,
from Bradford.
Scintillating play here from Ethan Ryan. Great footwork. He's got great balance, this kid. He's a real athlete. And again, it was a great kick from Martyn Ridyard, wasn't it? Right into the corner. But Ethan Ryan got out and he got himself in between defenders, which he does ever so well. And good job he hit Matty Wildie back on the inside. He had Liam Kirk on his outside. I think if it had gone to big Liam, I'm pretty certain that Liam would have got run down there. He looked like he was running on treacle at the time. I think he was coming back to get back on side for the next set. But great evasion work there from Ethan Ryan. Good turn of pace. He's a real athlete, like I said, and well weighted pass there to draw McNally in, and Wildie goes in under the sticks. And then this was just near the end here, George. Good ball movement from the Bradford Bulls. And I just felt that Lilley just got caught in 2 minds slightly, whether to hit short or go at the back, and just end up with a loose carry. Ball goes to ground, and Gregg McNally, Johnny on the spot, reacts the quickest, scoops it up, and he's got wheels, this kid. At the end of the day, no one was going to catch him once he was into open space, and he shows a good turn to the Bradford fans. He scores a try and puts the arm up to say sorry, guys. Obviously, being an ex-Bradford player, he's got a lot of respect for the club. He's obviously acknowledging them that no harm intended, but at the end of the day, it was good reaction there from Thornley, and obviously McNally there to support and get on the line break there, but there was no way they were catching him. Disappointing end to the half there for Bradford. I just felt they were hanging in there, hanging in the fight and in the contest, and just to concede those points at the back end, the try and then the penalty goal, which Martyn Ridyard slotted over to extend the lead to 14 points. It was probably a slightly disappointment for them at the back end.
So that's the story, and that's how it looks at half-time. Leigh Centurions 22, Bradford Bulls 8, here in the sunshine in Leigh, at the Leigh Sports Village. Andrew Henderson and George Riley looking forward to the second 40 of this one, and we talked about it being a 4-pointer. Very, very important game, because Leigh can put a bit of daylight between themselves and Bradford. 2 points is the gap at the moment. they could really double that going into the business end of the season. We're just going to have a pause for a couple of minutes or so, and while we do, you can watch some recent highlights from the Bradford Bulls and their game against Batchelor.
Move, Thorn! Thorn! Move! Okay.
So that was Bradford running in some points as they've been unable to do today. That's a look at round 17 in the Betfred Championship. Of course, we have another 40 minutes of Leigh Centurions against Bradford Bulls. You can see the score there at the bottom if you're just joining our coverage on our league. Leigh having stretched away somewhat to lead 22 points to 8. Toronto edging out Dewsbury 70 points to 8, running away with it, the Wolfpack at the top end. Quite a shock result, Hendo, the second one, to lose Olympique, the nearest challengers, Toronto. Not many would have predicted Swinton going down and doing that.
Well, I certainly didn't in the championship wrap earlier in the week with Jenna Bruff. We both previewed that game. We both tipped Toulouse at home, who have been in red-hot form this season. At home, been proven very difficult to beat over there. And I mean, that's a fantastic result for Swinton Lions. And I'm really pleased for Stuart Littler as well, the head coach there. He had some real narrow losses early in the year, and I know for one thing he's working as a school teacher during the day, and he's trying to work as a head coach as well of an evening, and he puts so much time and effort into his players. I know that for a fact. He's a very hard-working young coach, and I'm just pleased for him. He's starting to bear some of the fruits of his hard labour, because like I said, they had some narrow defeats early in the season. They were competing hard, but they just didn't quite have enough to win those games, and that's a fantastic result to go to the south of France and get that result. And again, we know that they're sitting in 10th position at the moment in that relegation dogfight, and that just takes another step away from that, so fantastic for them.
A nilling for the Rochdale Hornets at York, 24 points to 0. How impressed have you been with what York have been doing?
Yeah, I think they've been impressive. They certainly have. They've come up from the from League One and into the championship, and obviously I think their remit at the start of the season was just to stay up, and probably just stay up, consolidate, start to move forward. And I think they've just probably surprised themselves amongst all the other teams. And they've been pretty consistent, both offensively, defensively. I think they're well drilled, and they've got a really decent side there with some good experience there, some good youth players there. And I think they've been a good value for money. And again, will they be a threat at the back end? I'm not too sure, but they certainly can be very proud of what they've achieved so far in this championship season, but there is a long way to go. But at the moment, they're doing well in that game, sitting 24-0 at half-time.
10 points to 4 tight between Barrow and Halifax, and Batley 12, your old boys Sheffield Eagles 18. Featherstone up on winners by 8 points to 0, and Leigh and Bradford just readying themselves. In a couple of minutes time we'll be seeing them back out into the Leigh sunshine to complete this 40. You were suggesting perhaps no way back for Bradford. Does it depend on the next score?
Yeah, look, I don't say there's no way back. The point I was trying to make is probably on the first half evidence. I'm not sure I see 3 tries in them at this moment in time. Whereas I could see Leigh getting on and scoring another 3 tries. I just think Leigh, the way they're carrying the ball, they seem to be running harder. They're finding their fronts. They're generating more ruck speed, which is then allowing their halves to play at the line a lot more and bring people onto the ball and create opportunities. I think they've played the better of the football out of the two teams. The kicking game for me from both halves has been really, really on the money. And defensively they've been pretty sound as well, have Leigh Centurions. It's been the ill-discipline from Leigh for me that John Duffy needs to address at half-time with his side, because the amount of times they've given away some cheap penalties in yardage, or even penalties with the ball, mouthing off, things like that, just hasn't been good enough. They've got to tidy that area of their game up if they're going to be serious about challenging at the back end of the year. Bradford, on the other hand, what they have got is, and we've seen this throughout the season with Bradford, they will compete hard and they will stay in the fight. And at the moment, they're still in the contest, but it's going to be pivotal. This next, for me, 10, 12 minutes after half-time, they really need to string a couple of sets together. They need to get a couple of good outcomes to the end of their sets so they can start to build a little bit of pressure and earn some field position. Bradford haven't had a lot of field position in that first half for me, and they need a little bit more. But when they are, they're a little bit more crisper with their attack. We saw a couple of errors from them in good ball. Missed time runs, Storton's pass came off the chest, another one where a ball went to ground. They just need to tidy that little bit of area up in good ball there. But the other main focus for me for Bradford this second half is we need to see more line speed from them. From a defensive point of view, they need more line speed. They need to get their contact management a little bit better by getting bodies in front and obviously managing in that transition to ground and trying to slow that ruck speed down a little bit more, as well as tidying up some of their good ball attack in the second half.
Well, Bradford first back out. I sensed by the manner of John Keir when he marched down there that he might end his team talk soonest out of the two. So perhaps no surprise that the Bulls players are back out first. And interestingly, actually, John Keir is taking his seat on the far side. He's going to stay in the dugout for the second half. He usually likes to sit high for the much better vantage point. As you will know as a coach, you get a much better view of the game.
Of course you do.
What do you read into him deciding, right, I'm staying in the middle of it down there second half?
This is what coaches do sometimes, don't they?
I don't know, I've never been one.
Yeah, they do. They sometimes just a lot of it. I mean, I was always one that preferred to be up the top, because for that reason you can see a lot more. You can see, but sometimes coaches like to go down the sideline. They feel sometimes their presence down there can spur the guys on, or they've got a little bit more, they can get the messages a bit more direct to them, shouting from the sideline when when you're up in this position up here, you've got to radio it down and you're relying on somebody else to get your message across. So there's the advantage of being able to get your message across a bit clearer from the sideline, and obviously your presence there. Sometimes there's a feeling, Peltier's, he lost a penalty. Well, we just spoke about that discipline, didn't I, at half-time. John Duffy needs to sort that out. And
well, both Leigh and Bradford players looked at the ref with hopeful looks on their faces there. Which way is he going to give it? He's giving it to Bradford, so they get the opportunity, the first opportunity to get a run-going start of the second half. You won't miss a thing here on our league from the Rugby Football League. I hope you've been enjoying our coverage this season. Myself and Andrew Henderson guiding you through, along with the rest of the team. Some exclusive live coverage and content. And you can get the app for free, as you will know, because you'll be subscribed if you're watching us here. But tell your mates, here come Bradford. Minchella, can he get through? Oh, there's a slip, and Minchella could have a walk-in. He's got 3 men around him. He's just going to be held up. Well, there was a really unfortunate slip, wasn't there, by the last line of defence from Leigh, and it looked like Minchella could have a walk in there. It
was a great pass play here from Matt Garside. He saw that the middle unit players of the Centurions' heads were all turned in.
Does he bump into the referee there?
It almost looked like he did, didn't he? But McNally sort of slid, didn't he? Not too sure, but anyway, early opportunity here for Bradford, and certainly some encouraging signs, George.
They can go over straight away. That will be exactly the start that they'll be looking for. It's an angle kick from Wildie. It's going to go to ground. It's going to be shoveled behind. Well, he wasn't really sure where the Bradford players were there, so he took no risks at all.
No, but again, it was a fantastic pass play here from Garside. Micky Wood punching on, spins, offloads to Minchella. McNally falls down in the process, and you thought Minchella might have had enough to get over there, but great scramble from the Centurions. They managed to get back there and get the shirts back there. They've defended their goal line, but they're going to have to defend it again. And this is a fantastic early start for the Bradford Bulls. If they can score here, George, as you rightly said, it really brings them back in.
Spinning drop out into the sun, well fielded by Wildie, as Flanagan to Peltier. As is always the case, needs at least 3 from Leigh to ground, and really fast play of the ball. Off goes Flanagan again. He's making things happen. He's going to go on his own. It's a high tackle.
He's a high tackle. He's a high tackle.
Well, he's had a really lively start to this second half, George Flanagan. You see, had his neck ripped off.
See if it was.
Sometimes these aren't as bad as they first appear.
No, that's what I mean.
Let's have a look, because he's running at some pace.
I know George, he can be quite animated. So, yeah, there's probably a little bit of a extended throwback of the head there, I believe. But look, at the end of the day, it was a high tackle, so the penalty's fair enough. I did feel when Flanagan jumped out down this left side, he should have kept attacking down this left side. He created then a 4v3. He actually went back in field and skimmed across to the other side. Still almost created something.
Oh, and almost over.
Geez, wow, yeah, he almost got over there. That's his trademark there, the show and go.
Oh, he's making an impact. Lilley will look to atone for that error first half. There could be a chance now. Can he step in? Well, I think Leigh had just about got enough numbers there. He's still going though. He's going to need halting.
Jeez, if Oakes could have put his winger away there, it would have been try time, but he just didn't quite get a good catch on the ball. If he'd have sort of...
Here's a sin bin. Who's gone this time? McNally's gone.
Kicking out.
Kicking it. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Let's have a look on the replay. And this is just little shortcuts here. There's no need for the Centurions to be doing this. Yeah, he does.
Oh,
he puts his hair.
The ball.
He does. It's a great spot there from Ben Thaler. He's well in control of his game, Thaler. It's a great spot. And that's just dumb play from McNally. Like, it's just not needed. Just, again, why do that? You're in control, you're 22-8 up, looking for shortcuts to try and make something happen. It's
second sin binning of the game for the home side.
Right play, Gregg.
The last time they were down to 12, they actually extended their lead. What about this time? Flanagan. To Wildie.
They need to look at their short side a little bit more as well.
There's going to be a gap somewhere, but can they be cute enough to find it? It's the big fella to the line. Over the line. No.
Oh, he's dropped it.
Well, fine margins. They had one of them first half, and they've had another second.
Big Ross Peltier, he thought he was over. I tell you what, he did well on that play, close to the line, and he's reached out, and in the act of reaching out to score, he's dropped the ball. That's 2 tries the Bradford side have missed through dropping the ball over the line.
And remember when it happened in the first half, Leigh went right down the other end and scored themselves. Are they going to repeat that? Penalty given away by Bradford.
It's a great break here from Liam Hood, and George Flanagan comes back at him. He beat George originally, and just to let him know. The 2 hookers, I did say at the start of the call, didn't I? It's going to be a great battle, the 2 hookers coming off the bench, because they both had a different dynamic to their teams when they come on, and both very competitive.
So the penalty is to 12-man Leigh. They will give themselves a decent look at the line here. tapping as they do on the 20.
Well, they won't fear anything, Leigh, here, will they? They scored with 12 men in the first half with that lovely short side play with Costello going in the right-hand corner. So they'll throw it in again. It's Hock now on the charge, George.
Gareth Hock towards. Oh, they offload out the back, but he's going to let them do it again here.
Referee's called held.
Ridyard with a step and the power to the line.
It's held up. Oh, God, that's a great try-saving tackle there by Ethan Ryan. Had to be made. Good scramble.
And they're running straight away down the skinny side of Leigh.
Batchelor's knocked it on.
Yeah,
it's
that
20.
That was a mess.
That was a pretty poor end of the play there from Joe Batchelor. They're trying to take the short side. We'll just see here on the replay, Ridyard almost goes close. Nice wide pass, steps off the left, and Ethan Ryan, Matty Garside just lost his hips here, turning out. Ridyard spotted that, took him on, but Ethan Ryan covered up on the inside. It was a magnificent tackle there from the fullback.
Really good feel around this contest. And I tell you what, I think a lot of that is down to the vocal nature of the Leigh fans behind those sticks.
They've got great support, Leigh, haven't they?
They're really keeping this interesting.
They love their rugby league, that's for sure. Nice hands.
Now then,
Great hands.
The Bradford balls. Wildie wants it again. He's got back inside and he's got a poor pass down by his knees. And another one goes begging. And Wildie turns around and says, "You've got to be kidding me."
Got to be better there, Ross Oakes. He'd done all the work. It was a great little short side attack plan. I've said it before, didn't they? They need to start looking down these short sides. Lovely hands. Good quick hands there. And Ross Oakes does all the work, steps off his left, and
it's an awful pass.
And he even brought the man across for the play. He did everything well.
He did everything well. The supporting run from Wildie did everything right. He went right and then back inside. He's obviously giving him the call.
Absolutely.
And then just the pass is a shocker.
Yeah, it's disappointing there for the Bulls. It could have really got themselves back into the contest.
Should have done.
Yeah, should have done.
And this is exactly what you were saying. They're just
not enough.
No,
yeah,
they're
crisp
not
enough.
putting Leigh to the sword when they get the chance. And you can't win any game doing that.
It's another good carry there for me, Thornley. He's been strong on that left edge today.
He's still a very, very good player, isn't he, Ian Thornley? Former Wigan Warrior. Another big battle down the middle. Look at the strength in those legs. Last tackle. Leigh will drill one low, will they? Yes, they do. Where's it? Oh, it's going to be play on. And then the turnover. And the inevitable booze for absolutely no reason. Half an hour to go on our league from the Rugby Football League. Leigh 22, Bradford Bulls 8. Leigh for the second time this afternoon playing a man short. They've had 2 sin binnings, and we're on the second. Oh, a little hand in the face, enough for a penalty.
Yes, it is.
He's not missed much, has he, the ref?
No, he hasn't. He has had a good game, Ben Thaler. Can't complain. What I like is he's not letting them get away with stuff, you know. But that's the problem with the championship, you know. Another week with a different referee. You've got a Super League referee here today,
and it does make a difference.
It does. It does.
But the Super League referees, who are used to dealing with internationals every week and bullshit internationals, are not going to take anything from any player out here.
But whereas, like some weeks with some of the up-and-coming referees, they'll let a bit go, you know. So hence why you've probably seen a bit of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But it's all been
confidence isn't just down to players; it's down to referees as well. That's a big one.
Boom! Sit down, that's a great shot there. Thornley again on Gibson.
Quick play of the ball though, and it could work in Bradford's favour because they're
Garside
still thinking about that hit, Leigh. Can Bradford find their way over during this power play? Back to Lilley. Wildie, here's Peltier. Pumping those legs. Can he get the offload? Can he get the arms free? He can't.
Needed to play at the back there to Peltier. It was try time.
Wildie's going to run to the skinny side. It's come off a... It should be Bradford, should it?
Yeah, he says it's been played at, so they'll get 6 more tackles. I just felt Ross Peltier, it was a great play to put the big man on a little man, but I just felt he should have played and pulled the trigger, gone out the back. I think they would have created a try there. They had some numbers lined up. That's a great shot again, and we see it. That was a bone cruncher from Iain Thornley. Really got underneath the ball well, right into the rib cage. And,
plenty of time, but you just feel to put a few doubts in Leigh. Bradford have got to go over sooner rather than later, because the threat just has not been there. Perhaps now.
Well, they've had a lot of possession, haven't they, in field position early in this second half, and if they can't post points now, then I think it's going to be a tough assignment for the remainder of the game. They need to post points soon.
Micky Wood underneath the post. Flanagan has a look. Whoa, that was a real gamble of a pass. And the big fella gives it inside, and Bradford are over. They score. It's Flanagan who's made a big difference.
Look at George Flanagan. He's punching the air with delight. He's really trying to bump his troops up. Just trying to rub it in the Centurions' faces. He's a bit like that. But let's see, let's have a look at the replay here. It was a line play.
Great take and offload from the big fella here.
Yeah, it was. He done ever so well. Great composure too from the big fella, because he could have panicked there when that ball just comes straight to him. Obviously, I couldn't see what Centurions' play was. It went for the intercept, but it was a good pass there from Flanagan off the deck and almost got intercepted. Peltier finds it, steps off the left, gets the left arm fend off as well, and then lovely offload back on the inside there to George Flanagan, who was backing up. And that's a really important score there for the Bradford Bulls. There's Jordan Lilley now. George lines up the extras and slots them over.
Yeah, slams it on to the underside of the stadium roof. And the game is very much back in the balance.
Yeah, well, this has just come off the fact they've had a lot of field position, a lot of possession now on the Centurions line. They are down to 12 men, and the Centurions just getting a little bit fatigued around that area, around that ruck area. And that's a decent try there for the Bradford Bulls. And it was important, like I said before, that they got something from. They've had a lot of field position, a lot of possession. They had to get points in this period now to get themselves back into the contest. And I think now with that score, they'll have a little bit more confidence. Really important to set this next set now. They do get to the end of their set, get a good kick into the corner, and try now keep putting the pressure on the Centurions.
Here he comes again. Leigh will be back to a full complement sooner rather than later. Offload. Happy to let that go. Can Bradford back up here? A momentary hush from the home fans. Flanagan. Here's Jordan Lilley. Flat pass. Micky Wood spins and the play of the ball from Ethan Ryan. Here's Peltier again.
Good offload.
Great soft hands, and Bradford could have opportunities again. Gibson, he tried to get the ball into the outside of his right hand so he could flick it to his winger, but it didn't happen. This is the last, so will Jordan Lilley go aerial? Yes, he will. Real high hanger. It's going to go behind the line.
Oh, no.
It's straight into the scrum half's hands. He was the only one there from Leigh. And he said, thanks, I'll have that.
That's a good return there from Josh Woods. But not the best kick outcome there from the Bradford Bulls. It just needed, for me, just either a little bit more depth on the kick or just put a kick into the corner there. And they've just gifted now Leigh a bit of opportunity. Oh, there's a penalty. And I think they'll take the two, won't they?
Yeah, I think in terms of respite, that would be the right thing to do. It's what, an 8-point game, so it doesn't make a great deal of difference in terms of Bradford having to score 2 tries.
No, we'll just give them
take the wind out of the sails.
McNally's on now anyway. So now I probably would have rolled on then, to be honest. I didn't realise he's just literally come back on now after the decision was made to go for goal, but he probably would have just rolled on.
Well, Ridyard happy enough just to pause, take the sting out of the last few moments.
Yeah, it's a fair call. There's that to argue as well. You've got to think they've absorbed quite a bit of pressure, Leigh, haven't they, this last probably 10 minutes, really, haven't they? You know, Bradford have had a lot of field position and possession. They've had to do a lot of defending, so it's, in hindsight, it's probably not the worst call going for 2.
Well, he struck that superbly. Still rising, I think.
Doesn't change things from a Bradford perspective. They've still got to score twice anyhow. But like you said, I think that just really gives a bit of a breather there to the Centurions boys who've been under the pump a little bit in recent minutes. McNally's now back on the field, so they're back to a full complement. probably in some respects think Bradford will be a little bit relieved that they took the 2 as well, I think.
Oh, little slip on the restart from Lilley. It's actually worked out quite well for him.
Yeah, it has.
Gives a bit of extra trajectory on the ball, that. And it's skidded 3 times.
He's replacing number 29, Matthew Storton. 17, Ross Peltier.
Jordan Thompson. Liam Hood waiting. Glancing left and going left. It's just an anxious murmur around the sports village now. What's going to come next? Well, it's going to be a Leigh attack, I can tell you that.
Good defence from Bradford there, good edge defence. Just like the way they move their bodies there, nice and square.
There's McNally back on. Oh,
Nice.
Felt that one.
Good contact there from John Magrin on Luke Douglas. Pressure there from Minchella.
Oh, the referee's seen it. He's going to give the penalty against Minchella.
He's gone high. Saying he's took him higher
High
after
and late.
I love the intent from Minchella in terms of the kick pressure. We'll just have to see whether he did get him around the head. I wasn't sure he did, but I don't think he did. I think he's hit him across the shoulder.
It was unnecessary though, a little bit soft, but
That was a harsh call, that one, to be honest. That was fair game. A harsh call there. But anyway, they have to front up now, Bradford. Big defensive set for the Bulls now on their own try line.
Liam Hood switches play. Wood. Oh, the walking try. How easy is that for Andy Thornley to restore Leigh's advantage?
Fantastic try there for the Centurions. They get the opportunity off a last tackle kick play. Kicker taken out late, it was deemed. Which gave them the field position the opportunity. I thought defensively there, the Bulls had the numbers. And it was just a simple drop-off play. Josh Woods coming across, drops off the back row of Thornley, and Micky Wood back on the inside, just didn't clean it up. We'll see it here again. For Bradford had the numbers right. They had numbers on this side here to cover the play. Minchella just over-chased slightly to Minchella. But Micky Wood's got to clean up the drop-off play there for me.
Yeah, not enough from Micky Wood for me there.
No, I agree. I think Minchella probably went a little bit too hard. He could have steadied up a little bit. But he obviously elected to try and go hard, put pressure on the halfback. But still, Micky Wood should have been there to clean it up on the inside. And they'll be disappointed with that, Bradford. They just felt they were starting to get themselves back into this game. And then Leigh just hit him with the sucker punch to try close to the line.
So it's a 30 points to 14 deficit now.
Well, you just see there, Minchella just pushes a bit hard there to try and get the Woods. You know what I mean? Probably needed to steady up a little bit, Minchella, for me. Just goes a little bit too hard there. And then obviously Micky Wood just wasn't working hard enough on the inside there to cover his teammate.
Short kick-off this time from Jordan Lilley. Tapped backwards by Jordan Thompson, and Leigh have the ball.
Well, they've got it all to do again, haven't they, George, the Bradford Bulls?
Yeah, every time they just threaten some sort of comeback, Leigh makes sure that it's short-lived. Crossley completes the tackle. Into the last 20 minutes of the contest, ball's come free.
He's dropped that.
And it's a knock-on, so that will help Bradford.
Yeah. It's a fair call. Joe Cator, former Hull KR man. Just as he's getting up the plate here. See, is there a hand in there? Oh, maybe a little bit of a hand there from Micky Wood, perhaps. You know, he's still got a duty and responsibility to have a good grip on the football. But they've had a little bit of a helping hand on the way, I think, maybe there,
Just
George.
because there might be a hand somewhere near doesn't mean you can just drop the football.
No. That's the point I was making. You've still got a responsibility.
So 19 minutes to go. And it's a fairly commanding lead at the moment for Leigh. Lilley into the line.
That's a good play, that.
Yeah, I mean, look at him ordering his forwards around, Lilley. He'll run into the line and give the ball back to Wildie. Minchella tries to step back inside. He's running right back into traffic there.
Good defence from the Centurions.
It was, they read it.
Yeah, really good defence there. The middle unit boys tying it up on the inside. It's Flanagan out of dummy half now, George.
Yeah, I've really liked him since he's come on. Last tackle, what will they do? Well, he wants it, just Jordan Lilley. Wildie's put boot to ball. It's come off the studs of the Leigh Centurions, and they just gobble it up.
It's good goal line defence from the Centurions here. They stood firm together, worked hard for each other.
And here come Leigh through Stefan Marsh. Last tackle inside their own 40-metre line. Ridyard. Well read by Ethan Ryan. Can he get up a bit of pace to drive Bradford back? Not this time. Garside bounces off from Lilley to Wildie. No real direction to any of that. Flanagan gives it to Crossley. McNally on his left shoulder. 30 away, but on the last. Wildie, will he kick? Yes, he will.
Oh, it's a horrible kick.
It's gone an absolute mile. Needed to hit the post or something to be a good kick.
I think I think he was trying to do. I think he wanted to put a spiral bomb up there, and I just don't think he's connected with that well. I think he was trying to put the old spiral one up there to test Costello and McNally at the back there, but it was a horrible kick. It's just not what they needed. Bradford conceding a seven tackle set.
No, they have to do something different really now, Bradford, to force their way into the last 15 minutes of this contest, because at the moment they're heading for the it could get even worse as Hood gets up ahead of steam. Oh, he's got the ball. Well, where on earth did that come from? He had two options left, one right, was making up his mind, and as the cogs just clunked around in his brain trying to make the decision, he dropped the ball.
Well, look, you said here, great acceleration out of dummy half from Liam Hood. Good strength and power as he comes into the contact area and makes the initial line break. Good tackle bust from him. It was brilliant, really. But then, like you said, it's almost like he had too many options around him, didn't he? There was plenty of Centurions players in support, which is an encouraging and good sign for them. But Hood just had a bit of an explosion there and just dropped it cold.
Yeah, it was almost like he was using so many brain cells trying to work out which was his best option, that he forgot what he was actually doing.
I think he just had that many players around him. Yeah, he could have hit a number of them, and he just couldn't fathom out which one to hit, and then just drops the football. But Bradford survive.
Spreading the ball wide. Chella in the bright boots. Magrin running up with power. Flanagan, Wildie makes the dummy run and wants it and gets it, and then bullets the pass. That was a good play. Up the middle they go again, Bradford. Flanagan bypasses Crossley, and then goes on his own. It could have been high, but he ran all the way through it. Last tackle, Bradford want a penalty. Well, they're going to get a stoppage.
He might have done an injury here. His hip. It looks like he might have done an injury here.
Yeah, he's holding left hip.
Rib, is it? Is it his hip or his rib?
I think it was the fall. It was a little bit ungainly. Looks like he's going to be all right.
Referee Ben Thaler just having a go at the head trainer there for the Leigh Centurions.
Wildie, they're going to run it. Ryan, left-footed rubber kick, looks a good one.
That's try.
Has Foggin-Johnston got there? No, he's knocked out.
No. He might hurt himself in the process too. Foggin-Johnston, he's grabbing his arm, making an act of trying to score. He's injured himself. He's grabbing the elbow.
Left elbow.
Yeah. Looks in some pain and discomfort. The physio coming
They've
on
had
now.
3 very close calls, Bradford. That wasn't a gimme, that one.
No.
The other 2 perhaps were. Well, one certainly was.
Well, he's done well to get himself in a position to score the try, Foggin-Johnston, didn't he? It's been quite impressive for the Bulls this year.
I've enjoyed watching him.
Yeah. He's not the biggest, is he?
Great pace, and he does.
It's like a Jason Robinson type sort of build, isn't he?
He does what all good wingers should do, is just stay on your wing, and if the ball movement's good enough, you're going to get a...
Well, he hasn't stayed in his wing that time there.
He's done exactly the opposite, and this could end the game, because Leigh are going to score. It's going to be a second of the afternoon for Gregg McNally, and that will probably be the ball game.
Well, we just gave the kid a rap, and he's just come up with a big defensive error. Commentator's curse. A fantastic try, great ball movement there from the Centurions, but saying that the Bulls had the numbers there to defend it. It was just a poor defensive read from Foggin-Johnston. He'd come flying in, he didn't need to. It was great, and because he'd done that, it made the decision then easy for the Centurions. It was a great pass there to Costello. Just seeing how the ball moving out the back, Ridyard to Woods to McNally, and McNally sees Foggin-Johnston coming in to try and take Forsyth. So he throws the cutout pass there to Costello, and then he backs up on the inside as well to finish the try off. It was a great ball movement from the Centurions. All 3 pivots on the long side. Ridyard out the back to Woods. Woods goes to the line, digs into the line, out the back to McNally, and it was man on man for me at that point. But Foggin-Johnston comes off the left wing, tries to come in and kill Forsyth, the centre. McNally sees him coming in, throws the face pass there to Costello, who then was unmarked. And he races down that right-hand touch line and back on the inside as he draws Ethan Ryan back on the inside of McNally, and it's a great try in the corner.
Yeah, that will probably be that. Could even be worse. Now that was going to fade. That was a tough kick into the breeze from Ridyard, so it's a 20-point lead, 34 points to 14. As we take another look at the try, and just as we were saying, he's a good winger who stays on his wing. Off the wing he comes. And Leigh made the break and probably sealed the ball game.
Yeah, I think Matty Wildie would have got there. I think he had enough space and cover to get to Forsyth if McNally had hit short to Forsyth, but Foggin-Johnston decided to come in and try and close it down himself, and just weren't quite working together there, that left edge defensively.
You can just sense in the body language of Bradford they kind of accept that's probably that now.
I think so.
A bit of pride perhaps, let's try and keep it tight. Who knows if we can get a score soon. But even the feel around the place has changed in that this is game over.
Yeah, and I think the Centurions probably a bit relieved as well, because I think there was some nervy moments there after Bradford scored in that start of the second half. I just think, you know, there would have been a sense of nerves, but they managed to quell that. And the back in control is Douglas with a great left hand arm.
And he's going to have, he's got options, but he's run away from it. One of the options was old Micky Higham.
What about the fend there from Douglas? Just gave him the big don't argue.
This is a lovely play.
Smart.
This is going to be a try. It's going to bounce and bounce, and it's a brilliant score. That's lovely from Leigh.
Fantastic
And
rugby.
it's Liam Forsyth to put the cherry on the cake for the Leigh Centurions, who are starting to turn the screw and run away with it at the Sports Village. Leigh will beat Bradford.
Fantastic try here from the Centurions. It all started from the Luke Douglas line break, giving off the big left hand, don't argue, in the face of one of the Bradford defenders. I'm not sure who it was, but he just said, Wooska, get out my way, son. Swatted him away like a fly. Makes the line break. Couldn't find anybody in support. Takes the tackle, and off the next play, ball goes to Josh Woods. He sees that Ethan Ryan is sat more over on the right on the Ridyard. Ethan Ryan was just sat more on Ridyard there, so he saw the space in behind. The winger was up in the line as well. Great vision to put the kick in behind for Liam Forsyth, who reacts to it. As you see here now, Woods gets the ball, he sees the space, executes a kick, sees that Foggin-Johnston was up in the line, not tucked back in the pocket, saw the space, and Liam Forsyth wins the foot race. And that was great vision from the halfback. He said Ethan Ryan was sat on Ridyard on that right side there, so that's what allowed the space to back on that side.
And that one is sweet as a knot. And Leigh have got 40 points on the board tonight.
Fantastic.
40-14.
Well, they could have made life a bit easier for themselves today if their discipline had been a bit better, and that's something certainly John Duffy would like to see. But we'll have a look at it again here. This is the initial line break from Luke Douglas. You just see him here now, gives a big left hand there to, I think it's Hallas. He just shoves him out the way. Motors on down the field. He had numbers in support. He couldn't find the pass play. Good tackle from Dalton Grant. But Ethan Ryan for me was just set on too far over to his right on Ridyard there, and Josh Wood spots it and gets the kick the next play in behind the line for Liam Forsyth. And that's good defence there from Bradford, driving Douglas back.
It's turning into a hefty defeat, this, for Bradford.
It is indeed.
Substitution for Bradford, 29 Matthew Storton, replacing 24.
Into the last 8-9 minutes of the game, Bradford well beaten, and Leigh continuing their good run of form. In a sense, they might not be done yet either. Micky Higham continues to bark instructions, the former Great Britain hooker. That's better from Elliot Minchella. Last tackle. And they just drilled down the line, I would have thought. No, back in field off the outside of the left boot. And the atmosphere is almost pre-seasonal now, isn't it? With the game gone. Bradford trying to make something happen. Not a great deal of rhythm. As Lilley gives it to Wildie, those two combining again. Ryan joining the line. And Minchella on his left, and Oakes hugging the touchline. Last tackle.
Got to give the rap to the Leigh Centurions defence today too. I think it's been pretty good. Both edges have been pretty solid.
Right, they'll take that, no problem at all. Thornley on the far side. As we approach the closing 5 minutes or so, time to start thinking about your man of the match. I'll give you a couple of minutes, Hendo, to do that. I think I know what colour he'll be wearing.
Yeah.
His Leigh kick. Good looking kick that as well.
That's a fantastic kick.
Oh, unlucky. Oh, unlucky, he just bounces the wrong side. Gonna have to deal with it though. Fair play to the Bradford Bulls fans who are sticking around to the end to applaud their team off. The Leigh Centurions fans probably discussing which pub we're going to next, I would have thought. I think Gareth Hock might want to come back on for the last 5 minutes. So we'll see through this set, and then I'll ask you, Hendo, for your man of the match. Bradford on halfway, like you would. Quick play of the ball. Lilley takes it over his head. Wildie drills off the outside of the boot. That's a good weight, but it's just going to fade and go too far. So, with Leigh poised to tap on 20, you're our league man of the match, Mr. Henderson.
Yeah, I might surprise a few of the viewers, but I'm going to go with Iain Thornley, the centre for the Leigh Centurions today. I just feel that a lot of the good work done in yardage with the Centurions. He got his team on the front foot a lot, with running with purpose, made some good meters, got some quick play balls for his team to come off the back of. Took his try well early in the first half, and defensively I think he's been really solid on that left edge as well. He's got some really big defensive plays for his team. So I just think Iain Thornley for me is the man of the match. I think they've had some other good performers. The likes of both halves, Josh Wood and Martyn Ridyard for me have controlled things really, really well. I think you might agree there. I think they've both really controlled the game well, the two halfbacks. But I just think Iain Thornley for me, I think probably a little bit of an unfashionable one for most of the viewers, but from what I've seen today, he's been pretty solid for him.
Yeah, he's made a difference. Certainly first half, I think he kind of broke the game. As Higham goes towards the line, he's looking for Hock. My God, he's out here. Two old boys together. Hock's the dummy half, drills one low, great pickup. Little dab off the left, Bradford will get that one back.
Matty really might have copped a knee to the back there as he's put his body into
take one of the kidney there.
But yeah, that's to take nothing away from, it's been a pretty good all-round team of forwards from the Centurions, hasn't it? I mean, the forwards have laid a pretty good platform. I think the outside backs have all done a good job. Stefan, Marsh, Costello, McNally, Thornley, Liam Forsyth have all been solid. Liam Hood, Micky Higham controlled them well at the start. Then Liam Hood's added some injection of pace around the ruck when he came on. I think the halves, like I said, Woods had a hand in a couple of the tries, as has Ridyard. I just think it's been a pretty good team performance. The one thing I've said probably all game is they need to tidy up that discipline side of things. Really hurt themselves with the discipline. It's got to be an area they've got to fix up if they're going to seriously challenge at the back end of the season. But it's a pretty good all-round team performance. Hard to pick a real standout.
Just a word on that discipline for anyone tuning in, seeing the scoreline. Comprehensive win for Leigh over Bradford, 40 points to 14. They've played a quarter of this match with a man short. They've had two sin minutes.
They have. So, but when they come in at the business end against the teams that are in red hot form, your Torontos, your Toulouse, your Featherstones. Those sort of teams, they're not going to get away with that level of discipline. They'll get burnt by it. If it's something that will continue, they need to improve that's for sure.
So last, 3 minutes or so of the contest.
Today's man of the match, as selected by our main match sponsor, point 4, goes number 6, Martyn Ridyard.
So the sponsors' man of the match has gone to Martyn Ridyard. The Our League man of the match has gone to Iain Thornley. I've no idea whether our sponsors know more than you or not. I'd be interested to find out.
Hey, look, we all view the game differently.
That's for sure.
Like I said, you could argue that. I said both halves have been very, very good for the Centurions today.
Lilley's lining up for 40-20, but he was so far back and into the breeze. Barely got over halfway. Well, there are a few bodies out there who look like they're done on both sides. Leigh just want to run up the clock here. So there'll be a 4-point difference in the table between Leigh and Bradford off the back of this fixture. Could be more points here, there's going to be another score. 2 tries in a row for Leigh and Forsyth.
Fantastic try, great pass from Josh Woods. And another fantastic try for the Centurions, just running away with it now at the back end of this game. Have a look at it here. Josh Woods comes across. He just hits Forsyth. It's that short side attacking play. They've run it a couple of times today where Josh Woods gets across the 3-man. He has Forsyth blowing on the inside shoulder of 2. McNally at the back. They scored one in the first half, and they went out the back to McNally, and he found Costello in the right-hand corner. And obviously this time he goes on the short pass to Liam Forsyth, and he crashes over. It's a nice little short side attacking play there from the Centurions. And again, all the pivots have been pivotal today, haven't they? You know, McNally's had a hand in a couple of tries and scored a couple. Could argue he could have been the man of the match. You know, Ridyard's been good. Josh Woods has been good. So the pivots for me have been really good for the Centurions, along with a forward pack that's laid a good platform. But you know, I think we can't underestimate some of the good work that the back five have done today for them. They don't always get the plaudits, the back five. You know, when their work they have to do out of yardage. Through the unfashionable stuff. Yeah,
it's been dominant from Leigh, and there's another two.
Good team performance.
46 points to 14 for Leigh over an increasingly weary Bradford Bulls, whose fans are now making their way out of the Leigh Sports Village. Great afternoon to be a Leigh fan, really convincing victory. There's a bit of frustration in that restart from Jordan Lilley and Gareth. I don't know what he was thinking there. He was trying to keep the ball in play and then forgot that would actually be a knock-on. You can see he's just angry here and smashes it.
They're offside there, Bradford, on the kick.
They were offside.
Jeez.
In fairness.
All offside.
Anyway, the dropout, Crossley running it back. Closing moments of this contest on our league from the Rugby Football League. Big win for Leigh over the Bradford Bulls. We're featuring the Bulls next weekend as well. But this afternoon is all about Leigh. Bradford attack the line. Lilley, Gibson. Is there a consolation for those Bulls fans who have stuck around till the bitter end? Change of direction from Lilley, with the legs looking tired now. Couple of tackles to go. Taken on the bounce nicely by Jordan Lilley. Take that, well he does. That's a really good take, and it's going to be a score for the Bradford Bulls.
A really good try.
It's Matthew Storton with the score.
Young Storton, well done. He's run a good line there, punched into a good hole, good in line. See it here now. It wasn't the best pass from Hallas off the ground. Lilley has to pick it up on the bounce, out the back early to Batchelor. And again, it wasn't the greatest catch either. It wasn't the best pass either. It had his chin, but he steps off the left and runs a really good inline there. We'll see it again from this angle. Some scrappy sort of skill there, but nice inline. Gets on the inside shoulder of Josh Woods, and then he does ever so well there to Storton. Still had a bit of work to do. So he blows the inside shoulder of Josh Woods, gets through there, and then he steps again off the left to beat McNally. And he still had some work to do there, George, but good try for the young back rower.
So 46 points to 20. And at least they've kept going till the very end, Bradford. It's not a jot of difference to the score or the league table. At least they've not completely caved in. That will probably be the last restart of the game. Well taken. Oh dear, oh dear.
Jesus.
What on earth is going on?
What on earth is going on?
There could be an opportunity here for Leigh to put 50 up.
Wow.
Oh, the heads have gone, haven't they? Dear, oh dear.
What was he doing? What the? Oh, gee.
I mean, I'm not sure you can blame Pelche for that, can you? He's saying, what are you doing offloading like that?
I don't know what he was doing. Anyway.
Here comes Leigh, they want 50 and they've got a man free and they will have 50.
Thornley.
It's the man of the match on our league. Iain Thornley, who makes it a half century for Leigh. And their hungry fans who've battered the Bradford Bulls.
Yeah, nice little short side scrum play there. Bradford just didn't get their numbers right at all. obviously they set themselves early, Leigh, with 2 on the short side. Bradford needed to match that. Micky Higham then jumps out of dummy half. We'll see it again here. Gets out of the base of the scrum. Feeds Joe Batchelor, and Batchelor simple 2v1 with the winger. And he puts Iain Thornley over in the corner. And the Centurions get their 50 points. And heap further misery on the Bradford Bulls, which has been quite a disappointing second part of this second half for them. They were 22 points to 8 down at half time. They came out with much more spirit and vigour early in the second half, George. Enjoyed some field position, enjoyed some possession. They scored a try, got themselves almost back into the contest, only to see that short-lived. And the Centurions then got themselves back into their stride, got their mojo back, and then have just really put Bradford to the sword in this latter stages of the second half. So disappointment there for John Keir and his men, and it's not been a great past month for them in the Betfred Championship.
That's the last touch of the football, and it's a conversion for 52 points to 20. That's as comprehensive as it gets for Leigh against Bradford. Brilliant victory for them. The fans have enjoyed it, and rightly so. Bradford have been disjointed, they've been out of sorts, and they've unravelled as the game has gone on. And the home side, not a single person in here, Andrew Henderson, would say they are not worthy winners.
Oh no, absolutely. I think Leigh were the better team, no doubt about it. I felt that Leigh were the better team even in the first half. I know they went down to 12 men at one stage when Sam Brooks was sent off for dissent. But I always felt that Leigh were always in control of the game, if that makes sense. I just felt the kicking game from both Ridyard and Josh Woods was really on the money today. They turned the ball over in the right areas of the field. They turned the ball over on their terms more often than not. I thought defensively they were excellent through the middle, on the edges, and obviously with the ball as well. Some of the ball movement we saw, some of the attacking football they possessed when they were in good attacking field position. They executed some really good pass plays, good pass selections, good decisions, good execution of skill, and hence why they've scored 52 points. But I just felt they always had that ascendancy in the game. I felt Bradford always felt there was a sense of them sort of just hanging into the game. They were just trying to stay in the game, and you felt that if they've got a little bit of fortune and maybe executed a little bit better. Don't forget they dropped the ball twice over the try line. Unlucky not to score in the corner with Foggin-Johnston as well. So had they been a little bit more clinical and a bit crisper with some of their skills and decisions with the ball, it may have made it a bit more of a contest, and who knows. But the reality is the Centurions thoroughly deserved it, and well done to them.
Yes, the half century up for the home side at the Leigh Sports Village. We'll show you in a second what that does to the table. Let's have a look at the rest of the results first of all. As you can see there, well, we know Toronto big winners over Dewsbury, 70 points to 8. That extraordinary win for Swinton in the south of France. York City Knights 60. Rochdale Hornets 0. Barrow beating Halifax by 21 points to 8. How about that from Sheffield second half? Batley 24, Sheffield Eagles 54. Do you think they were going down the hill second half?
You've just took the words out of my mouth. They must have been going downhill second half there. That's an emphatic victory and much needed for the Eagles.
Featherstone 16, Widnes 4, and as you've watched with us, hopefully here on Our League this afternoon, Leigh Centurions putting the half century up against Bradford, 52 points to 20. So what does that do to the Betfred Championship table 2019? Well, you can see for yourself. Toronto stretching their way, 32 at the top of the pile. A little bit tighter beyond them after that home defeat for Toulouse Olympique on 24. Then it's Featherstone and Leigh level on 22 with the York City Knights. Then Sheffield and Bradford. Sheffield 2 points out of Bradford now. Looking a little bit of pressure on Bradford, their players and their head coach John Keir. Then Halifax from Batley and Swinton. It's Dewsbury, Widnes who had that points deduction, Barrow Raiders and Rochdale Hornets. Hendo, it's been great having you.
Thanks, George. Always a pleasure.
Especially on Father's Day. I know you're in a lot of demand from your little ones. So
that's right.
Thanks for sparing the time.
No problem. I'll go back to him now. I'm hoping we're going to have a lovely dinner on the table. And
what did you get present-wise on from your kids on Father's Day?
Well, mate, I've got a fantastic mug, mate, which has
You've got a
my
mug?
name. There it is. There it is, folks.
There we are.
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
Andrew, the man, the myth, the legend.
Well, that's what
you
they
know who
say.
else has
Hey,
got
that's
one
what, that's what my kids say.
Yeah, look, you see that?
That's what I got for your 40th.
Oh, you bought that, did you?
I thought I'd seen that before.
Yeah, that was my 40th birthday present from you last summer. So your family is nothing if not original. Did you get a job lot of them? And it's like, who do I know called George? I'm called Andrew. Oh, right. But John Keir's got one as well, hasn't he? John, the man, the myth, the legend. Not today. Anyway, no, great fun. We'll see you next time from me, George Riley, and Andrew Henderson. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage. Plenty more to come throughout the week and throughout the season on our league, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.